excited to have her back. We're all excited to have her back as Sandra Atkinson. We always love it when she comes to our church and serves. So Reverend Sandra Atkinson, it's an honor to be welcomed back to the Healing Spirit. Throughout her life, she has been a teacher and has served the communities she's lived in many ways. Now, she continues to serve her new community of Liverpool, Nova Scotia. She followed her calling from Spirit and was ordained by the Fellowship of the Spirit and is now working on being ordained with the Spiritualist Church of Canada. Sandra wants everyone here to know she is grateful to be sharing healing messages and serving Spirit today. Can everybody please welcome Sandra to join the service?
Thank you, Cheryl. That was so lovely. And thank you, Bill, for that wonderful music. And thank you, Tamariska and Randy, for continuing to serve and to make such a difference with all of us. And even more than that, it goes out and it's making a difference worldwide. So like Cheryl said, I'm really excited to be sharing today and to be here and to be back with Healing Spirit. And it was quite a challenge to decide what to share with you today. So what came, I'm going to do. And I know we're all spiritualists here, and we all agree that we have a spiritual toolbox. And there's many things in that toolbox that we can just pick out and use when we need. And we all know that maybe it's good to use them every day and to touch base. And one of the tools that we can continue to learn to use and get deeper with is the practice of forgiveness. Now, forgiveness has been coming up to me a great deal within my family, with my mediumship, and I know it's coming up to all of us here on planet Earth as we open up to many truths telling us who we actually are. And you know, it's so easy to say we just have to forgive. Now, I know we all know the Lord's Prayer. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. We say that. We know what that means. We've heard to err is human, but to forgive is divine. But you know, deep down inside us, it takes so much strength to set aside what is often justified anger. It just seems easier at times to hold a grudge. Yet, when we make that choice and allow ourselves to put aside that anger and to forgive those who have harmed us, we actually do ourselves a great service. Making that conscious choice to let go of the pain is the beginning of healing for us. Doing so is so challenging. I know this because it's easy to become attached to seeing ourselves as a victim and to hold on to resentment, even when the person who has harmed us is genuinely sorry for doing so. Forgiving someone is both one of the most difficult and one of the most spiritually rewarding choices we can make. Now, I could give you many examples in my life where I've had to do this and where I have done this, but I don't want to bring up any angst and give it more light. And that's what happens when you bring up things in the past. But I will say that the most rewarding experience that I have had is going back in my life and walking in my parents' shoes as they became, at the time that they became parents, and understanding their intentions, their choices, their struggles, and the most important thing, understanding the time they lived in. As a shamanic practitioner, we have learned to do that. And that is a huge healing. So while forgiveness is a noble act, research shows that the person who forgives benefits much more than those who are forgiven. Expressing true forgiveness is empowering because it helps us to stop feeling like victims and to let go of our own suffering at having been wronged. Our level of anger decreases and our level of love increases. That's always a good thing. We can learn how to better control our anger, and we begin to trust. We gain control from past events, and we can help ourselves stop repeating negative behaviors. I don't know if many people know of John Donne or John Donahue. He's an Irish mystic poet. He's no longer with us. He left quite young, in his 50s, which I consider very young. And he says, the way you look at things is the most important, powerful force in shaping your life. Because, you know, sometimes people feel if they let go of the pain, they let go of control. I've heard this many, many times. People feel they will become weak and a doormat and too vulnerable. But we have to realize that forgiving is not the same as being everybody's best friend. We can forgive and stay distant. By forgiving, we get clarity, and it opens us up to the intuitive guidance system within us so that we can make choices from then on with whom we want to make relationships with. We are able to create the change we want to see in our world. That takes us to Gandhi, doesn't it? He says the weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is an attribute of the strong. Now, when you're ready to forgive, you do not have to talk to them. You don't have to tell the person you're forgiving them. It doesn't matter if the person has passed on, if you've seen the person, or wherever they are. You don't have to have contact with them ever again if you don't want. So as spiritualists, we know that we are all connected and are one. And we also know that our thoughts are part of this co-creation. Thoughts, our thoughts, are things that are part of the consciousness that we all belong to. So what you think is shared with whom it may concern immediately. Your world is created by your thoughts. Sharing this information to remind you that as you begin to forgive past actions and past actions of your own, you can do it in the silence of your own reflection. It happens immediately, right there. So the simplest method, and I don't know if everybody knows this, but it's so simple, and there are many. There's Ho'oponopono. There's many different ways we learned as we were becoming ministers, but this is the easiest. You can do it. It takes less than a minute. Keep in your mind's eye the person you want to forgive. but do not think about the past actions, the words, just the visual. You can imagine it, you can visualize it, you can create it. Maybe a lot of us can see them. You just bring them up. Some people put a frame around them. There's all different ways you can do it. Our imagination is endless. And as you do that, you wish them love and light and everything that you wish for yourself. You say, thank you, I love you, and then just let it disintegrate. Now you can do this daily, monthly, yearly. I have a whole group of people that I connect with daily. Takes less than a minute to do it, and it makes such a difference. And I shared this with a lady who was a medium who came for a reading, and she was estranged from her son, and there was so much drama, and she wanted to get into it, and we wanted to talk about it. I said, just let it go. Try this, please. Just try this. And she did this, and I saw her maybe a couple of months ago, and she said, you know, who knows if it was that, but her son had called her, they had dinner, it felt good, and she was so grateful for that happening. You just believe that it works, and it works. It's really important to say thank you and to be very, very grateful for those moments, because as you do that process, you say thank you, and you know that it's there, it's happening. But one of the most important acts you can do every day is forgiving yourself. We all know what it feels like to carry around guilt. And I know throughout your life, everybody has struggled with this. It makes you feel unforgivable, and it takes away your power. Agonizing over a past action that cannot be changed. Because you know, as a human, we make choices, and sometimes those choices hurt others and hurt ourselves. The first step is to practice compassion for yourself. Remember always, you cannot change the past. Don't go back there. It's important to make an apology. You may write it out and never send it, even to the other person that you want to forgive, but to yourself, you can write an apology. I like to do those on the new moon, but you can do them on the full moon. You can do them anytime. You can write it out, and one more important thing you can do with it is burn it. Watch it going, watch it leaving. That ceremony is so important. You can also just look in the mirror and tell yourself, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. Rumi, another old poem that has beautiful, beautiful messages for all of us. He says, start your life over every day. Every day, everyone is totally forgiven. And it's no miracle that the song Frozen captured our hearts. From Frozen captured our hearts. You know which one I'm going to talk about. Let it go. Let it go. When I rise like the break of dawn, let it go. Here I stand at the light of day. Let it go. Now, as I conclude, I want to share one of my favorite ladies' poems, Mary Oliver. And if you ever have a chance to check out her poetry, you'll be so rewarded. She says, I am tasked with peering into the darkness in myself, and somehow by the grace of God, finding a redemptive perspective to it. I have learned that I must be the one to go first. If I cannot do this with my greatest tragedies, how can I lead others to do the same. So as we come to the end, I mentioned about a toolbox. So now, remembering that it's really beneficial to all of us to put practice forgiveness in our toolbox every day. As we look at all the things in our toolbox that we have, like asking the universe how we can be of service, that's in there. Cooking with intention and blessing all that we consume, that's important. Expressing unprovoked kindness toward all people. And the most important one as well is taking care of yourself. Going for a walk in nature, feeling Earth's energies coming up into us, practicing our breathing, offering gratitude. Even if you just say it as you walk, or maybe you'll come home and write 3 things that you're really grateful for in your journal. But the last one, which is important for us as we are sitting here today, is take time to enjoy the community of others, just like we are doing today. They can't stop us. We are strong and we found a way to connect. And that's really important for us to feel blessed and loved. So in closing, I want to share Van Morrison's words. Who here knows who Van Morrison is of the Doors? Woohoo! He says, live the life you love. You will get blessings from above. Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Spirit.
Once again, thank you so much, Sandra. Absolutely uplifting. And your words always inspire us. And it's so true. Let it go, because it's not doing you any good. And if you don't let it go, you're just going to be just in that little bubble of your own and feeling horrible. So perfect words. And I'm sure everybody can take some part of that address today. Once again, thank you. For the announcements today, as everybody knows, our church is going to be on Zoom, definitely. That's how we're going to be running our church services weekly. I don't know, is there any other announcements? I don't have any myself. Tamarishka?
There's a board meeting next weekend on the 13th. Lucky 13. Just a reminder.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it. Okay, very good. All right, also, okay, we're going out to our last song of the day. So Bill, would you please play for us Sweet By and By?
There's a land that is fairer than day, and by faith we shall see it afar. For the Father waits over the way to prepare us a dwelling place there. In the sweet by and by, we shall meet on that beautiful shore. In the sweet by and by, we shall meet on that beautiful shore. We shall sing on that beautiful shore the melodious songs of the blessed, and our spirit shall sorrow no more. Not a sigh for the blessings of rest. In the sweet by and by, we shall meet on that beautiful shore. In the sweet by and by, we shall meet on that beautiful shore. To our bountiful Father above, we shall offer our tribute of praise for the glorious gift of his love and the blessings that hallow our days. In the sweet by and by, shall meet on that beautiful shore. In the sweet by and by, we shall meet on that beautiful shore. We shall meet on that beautiful shore.
Thank you, Bill, for your wonderful music.